Hey everybody, welcome back to Runaway Roses. Today, got a couple new things I'm excited to use with the truck. One of them is the Tire Minder. It's got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatible, so I'm excited to use that. And I got some really cool tire chocks, and I'll show you why they're really cool in just a moment. So I got the new Tire Minder and these new chocks from eTrailer, so if you want to check those out, the link will be below. But the reason I'm really excited about putting this Tire Minder on is because if you're like me and you have a Ford truck, or any truck for that matter, that does not have the built-in TPMS, you're probably going to want to put something like this on. So ever since I bought this truck about 6-7 months ago, I've been really missing the TPMS that I had on my old Ram or on my old F450 that I had. It had the built-in tire pressure sensors, but however on the class 4 and 5 trucks on the Ford, they don't come with it. So I did on my Ram, so I did miss it, and I use it all the time on my Ram 4500. When we go on a trip, I would check my tire pressure regularly. So now that this truck doesn't have it, I really wanted to get the tire pressure sensor monitor, so I'm looking forward to putting that on. And the cool thing about this one is it does have the Apple CarPlay compatible, so that way I can just pull it up on the dash. I will be using the app as well, just hook it up to that. So I've never installed one of these, so I don't think it's very hard. So I'm going to go ahead and get to that, and I'll show you some of the steps along the way. So looking forward to using it. And then if we pull a trailer, we can add additional sensors to it, and then that way you can monitor the trailer as well as the truck. So if you're hauling a car hauler or a travel trailer or something like that, it would work well because you can have even more than enough sensors. Really, I believe it holds up to 22 sensors that it can monitor at one time. So on my truck, I'm going to have 6. So if I haul our car hauler with our Jeep on it, I'll probably get 4 more to add on later. But let's go ahead and get started on the install. First, let's open up the box and see what's inside. Alright, so I've got the Tire Minder Smart TPMS. Open it up. Got the paperwork. Got the instructions. So I'll be going through those. And then it comes with the transmitter. So put that in the truck, and then here's the 6 sensors that screw onto the valves. So like I said, you can get more of them if you need more. You can get a set of 4 if you just have 4 tires, and since I have a dually, I'm getting 6. However, if you're going to be pulling a trailer or something like that, you can add more. And inside we got a little sticker, a little case here. Comes with batteries for the sensors, some cables, USB cable, and a little tool, and some nuts for the sensors that screw onto the valves. And then there's a booster that'll help boost the signal so that the transmitter can receive that. So, alright, let's get to the install. I mentioned I had some tire chocks that were very cool. What makes tire chocks cool? Well, they're typically not super exciting, but these are really pretty, some of the coolest ones I've ever seen. These are made by Tread GT, and I haven't used them camping yet, but I have actually used them in the garage when I was working on my truck a couple weeks ago, and they worked really well. One of my favorite things about these is they can actually snap together. They have little posts and little holes on the other end, so they'll actually snap together and make like a nice little rectangle. So if you want to store them away and put something on top of it, and it's not some weird shape like a tire chock normally would be when you're trying to stack something in there. So you can store them very easily. They do have some really cool little mounting points on the back, so you can hang them on a wall in the garage on a screw or a nail or something like that, so they can hang that way. They also have a hole in the back side where you can tie a rope to. So a lot of truckers will often have 2 tire chocks, and they'll tie a rope to them, and then they just slide them underneath the tire, and then they just grab the rope and need to pick them back up. So you have that option of tying them together with a rope. So that's really neat. And like I said, they're lightweight. They're made of some sort of plastic or composite or something like that, but they're very cool. They're fairly inexpensive. You can get them on e-trailer. There will be a link below to that, and so I'm looking forward to carrying these along with us instead of those heavy rubber tire chocks that I would traditionally carry. So these are very cool, made by Tread GT. Check them out. So I'm going to follow the instructions, and the instructions say that first thing you need to do is charge up the transmitter, which I've already done. I charged that up inside, so it's ready to go. So the next step is to hook up the booster to a 12-volt source, and it comes with these little alligator clips, so you just clip it onto a battery. I may eventually hook it up to the batteries on the camper, but I don't have the camper on the back of the truck right now, so I'm going to pop the hood, hook it up to the battery to the truck, and maybe I'll end up permanently leaving it under the hood. I don't know yet, but I'll figure that out later. So I'm going to hook this up to the battery, and then we'll keep going. All right, we got the booster here. Here are the alligator clips. So that makes it nice and easy to hook up. So I'll go ahead and hook up the negative to the negative terminal. Hook up the positive to the positive terminal. Pull the cover up. Hook it up, put the cover back down, and you can see, hopefully you can see in the camera, there's a little green light there where the booster came on, and it's all ready to go. Just going back to the booster under the hood, I did zip tie it down there. However, what I think I'm going to do is eventually disconnect it from here, because I don't want it to be constant draw on the battery all the time. I'll probably hook it up to a 12-volt source that'll go on and off with the truck, or I'll hook it up to one of the auxiliary switches in the truck. The next step is super easy. Just got to put the batteries into the sensors. Basically, you just take the cap off of the top of the sensor, slide the battery into the top of the sensor, put the cap back on. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to all 6 of them. The next step is to download the Tire Minder app, and then take your transmitter, turn it on.
The Bluetooth adapter is connected.
All right, so our transmitter is connected, and the app is ready to go ahead and learn the sensors. Okay, the next step is to hook the sensors up to the wheel. So it does come with, the kit comes with a little nut that you screw onto the valve. So basically you put that on first, so that way when you thread on the sensor, you can tighten it back up to basically kind of like a little locking nut for the sensor. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that on. The kit does come with a little tool that will help to tighten up that nut onto the back of the sensor, so that's pretty cool. I got the transmitter nearby. It says to have it nearby, so basically while it's learning on the app, while the app's learning which tire it is, you basically just select which tire it is, confirm that that's the location you want, and then screw the sensor on.
Congratulations. Tire pressure has been identified. The second tire has been learned.
All right, there you go. It's that easy. Just got to screw it on real fast so we don't lose much air, but not much come out. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other 4 in the back, and then we'll check it out and see what kind of tire pressure and it gives temperature and all that good stuff. So we'll get to that here shortly. So now that I have all 6 of them hooked up to each of my tires, you can see here the tire pressure and the temperature. 85, 85, 85, 89, and the fronts are 86 and 88. So you can go back, click on learn. That's how you go over to learn if I want to add additional tires, wheels and tires to it, the baseline. Then if you did add more, it would go to the baseline. You could adjust that. And then there's a connect for, I guess, the truck. I haven't gotten that far yet. And then all of the settings that can go into and adjust there. So there we go. There it shows my, and like I said, it shows the pressure, but then the temperature is below that in Fahrenheit, 73, 73, 82, 82. The right side is actually in the sun right now, so those are a little bit hotter than the left side. So that's why that is a little bit different. So let's go ahead and jump into the truck and try to hook it up to the Apple CarPlay and see how it does. All right, we're in the truck. I got my phone, got the transmitter for the Tire Minder. So I'm just gonna basically just set this down here in the console because I don't really need it out. I don't need it mounted up high or anything like that. So I got my phone hooked up to Apple CarPlay. So basically I can just scroll through over to the Tire Minder app and it will show me everything that's on my phone. It shows front driver, or driver's front, passenger front, driver's middle, passenger's middle, driver's rear, passenger rear. So that's pretty cool. It shows the PSI and the temperature of each and every tire right there on the screen, so I don't have to try to pull it up on my phone. If we got other apps running, like the Google Maps or something like that, we can just scroll over to the Tire Minder app, click on it, and it's going to show us everything we want to look at right away. Super easy. Really love that. That's really cool for Apple CarPlay. It also works for Android Auto. I don't have an Android phone to be able to show that to you, but it's supposed to work with both of them, so that's really cool. And it's going to be a great accessory to be able to check it out while we're traveling down the road, or when you're cruising down the road and your tires are going to heat up, and when they heat up they're going to increase in PSI and the pressure, so you can kind of keep an eye on that. It's going to be more in the summertime when the asphalt is super hot. The PSI and the tires can increase quite a bit, and so can the temperature, so I'll be able to keep an eye on that as we're traveling. So I'm really looking forward to that. One thing I wanted to point out that I realized after driving the truck is I don't currently have the booster connected under the hood. Under the hood, you can see that the Tire Minder booster is disconnected. There's the ground. I just have it hooked onto a zip tie. So the booster is not hooked up and working at the moment. And the Tire Minder will work actually without the booster connected, and it still recognizes all the sensors on my wheels and tires. However, so I guess if you want to run a trailer, then probably need to have that booster connected in order to push the signal forward to this transmitter receiver. And but it works great, so I don't have to have a 12-volt source running to that booster under the hood, so that's good to know. But if I want to add a trailer and the sensors later, then I will need to connect that 12-volt source to that booster. I also wanted to mention real quick that the kit does come with 6 extra batteries, so that's good, just to keep on hand, as well as a power cord to plug in the transmitter, because you got to charge that up every once in a while. And then it does come with an adapter that's a 12 volt, so you can plug that into the 12 volt, or it also has the 120 volt, so it can do it either way in my truck. And then the adapter also has some USB, so if you're going to use this, you got a couple extra USB sources in the truck. Pretty cool. Well, that's about it for the Tire Minder Smart TPMS install. Super easy, anybody can do it. Really looking forward to being able to watching the levels of our PSI and the temperatures as we're traveling down the road, make sure that we're safe, and as well as using those tire chalks. Those are really cool. So if you're in need of either one of those, there will be a link down below for those products. I want to say thank you to eTrailer for sending them to us. We're going to use them and we're going to give a review on them later on down the road, but I have no doubt that both of them are going to work, and the Tire Minder, being able to monitor that going down the road, is going to be a big help to us. So I hope that helps you. Hope you got something out of the video, and we'll see you next time on Runaway Roses. Bye bye.